No, it's a single piece of fabric, came like that. So basically, I bought the fabric whole, just like this, ran a stitch, closed the edges, and I always like to get fabrics that's already interesting. I have some fabrics that I piece together, but they're more couture. So I sit and I take one piece of fabric from this thing and one piece of fabric from that and make a whole scarf. That's the couture stuff, and they take maybe 6 months to make because I don't work on it all the time. But this one, to answer your question, most of the fabrics we work on right now are one piece of fabric. So where I get my skill at is tend to know how long to make it. And I figure like scarves are a great accessory, women know that. And the more scarf you got, I believe you can never have too much scarf. You want to touch it? There you go. So that's a 100% velvet scarf there. So there's stretch velvet, there's cotton velvets, but I am a big fan of velvets. But every season is funny. This is the only velvet piece in the collection because every season something else catches my eye. So if I have success with something last season, I probably won't do it this again next season.
And are most of your scarves one of a kind?
No, in this collection here, most of them are one of a kind. No, two of a kind. Two. It's about 50-50. I like one of a kinds, but people say to me, well, I would like that. I don't duplicate. So I try to get two. But that means more than likely I'm going to keep it. So it's two of these. I'm probably going to keep this for myself. But yeah, most of my scarves are two of a kind. I used to do 6. But when you do 6 scarves, number one, at some point maybe I'll need to do 6. I don't knock anyone who does 6 of one kind. But I'd rather do 3 different styles, 2 a piece. So it gives more individuality. And you never see yourself coming in. So I like the uniqueness of Livingston. Now, I mean, at one time I was doing a lot of black velvet scarves, and people say you can just pump them out, you know, and you can, but I'm not really designing. I'm just pumping stuff out. I might as well be making pizza. You know what I'm saying? If you know.
Follow-up question, you were at Fashion Week?
Yes, I was.
And some of my students went to Fashion Week, Corey, and
Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Were you by the piers, or where'd you go?
We're about the period, yeah.
Yeah, what pier were you at? I was at pier 81. I was at 81. I went online and I found out they had industry tickets. I was like, okay.
what was your takeaway?
My takeaway was everybody wants to be a designer and models. Like it was, you know, it's a lot. I thought it was a very good showing. It was on the boat pier 51 or 81 or that. And I got in, and then I went downstairs, and I kind of was like, I think I got the wrong ticket because I'm supposed to be sitting down, and they set me from. Oh, it's pretty nice of them. But I just found it was a lot of fillers. So there's Fashion Week. I think I was at Style Fashion Week. Then there's Fashion Week. Fashion Week, your Michael Kors, your Polo Ralph Lauren. But then we already know what they do. I wanted to go to up and coming shows, and it was a young lady called Grace Moon. Her whole collection was silk. And it was the most gorgeous collection I've ever seen. And she led it off with a young lady who evidently sung a beautiful song in her native tongue. So it was great. But in between the great ones was a lot of fillers and people who did not know how to put on a show. So putting on a fashion show is not a model walking up and down. Because after you see 10 of them, you're bored and it's just another black dress. So what we saw is people who needed help producing the show. You can make a great garment, and if it's not presented right, if it's not accessorized correctly, I think, you know, the real people can do it.
Okay, all right, so let's.
Yes, sir.
And how much do they cost?
What's that?
The scarves?
The scarves, they start at $75 to $200, depending on the availability.